Welcome to Count Stackula on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning into another one of my videos. Today, we're going to take a look at all my silver pours that I've done so far because I'm melting them all. Let's get into the video. Alright, so why am I melting these? Well, because I've pretty much gotten to the point with my castings that I basically have figured out the perfect method to make everything the way I want them. And when I started with the 2 ounce, but I kind of actually want to be producing 1 ounce pieces. It's the bread and butter of silver stacking, and yeah, I'll eventually do some more 2 ounce pieces, but yeah, I want the majority, if not all of them, to be basically 1 ounce pieces, because I feel like I'm wasting a little bit of the metal by doing it this way. And especially since I kind of started out with 2 ounce pieces as I was learning, well, I made a lot of mistakes, and you don't have to look too hard to find, issues with these pieces. And I kept them because they're decent, but typically they're underweight. I mean, this one says 2 ounces. It is 2 ounces. This actually one is 2 ounces, but they're not all 2 ounces. This one is supposed to be 2 ounces, but it's not. So let's just take a quick look at each of these pieces as we say goodbye to them, because they're all going to get turned into nice 1 ounce versions. And many of them I didn't even mark. So this is the Tiger, the prototype, the first one, when I tried to make a stacker version out of it, and that didn't work out too well. This one, the Lucky Dragon, as I call it, this was one of the earlier pieces that came out, but yeah, it's like 1.8 ounces. That Tiger is underweight as well. This is the Tiki Guy, or Tiki Honda, or whatever I'm calling it, I forget. For whatever reason, a lot of these pieces didn't make weight. So, because of voids in the process. This one does look pretty shiny though, doesn't it? Looks pretty good. We have another beautiful Tiger, early stacker. And this is the Pegasus round that when I was finally starting to work on nailing that 1 ounce version, while at the same time trying to figure out how to, fix the issue of getting these voids no matter what size I was trying to produce. And it was at around this time that I finally figured it out, that I can produce these pieces without having any defects. This one's getting remelted though because it has other problems. One, it is not a full ounce. It's just slightly under. And two, this line that you see up top, this 45-degree angle line, looks like sun rays coming through the water, but it's not. It's actually a print defect. And so that's, it would have been a happy accident if it was the right size, but yeah. So I have a few more of those beautiful Pegasus rounds, and one more of the sea turtle. But we can take a look at the differences here, because this is the satin finish and this is the glossy finish that I've been experimenting with. So they are cool, and again, they came out pretty good without voids. So doing it right. This is definitely going to be we're going to see more of these same designs for sure. And this one also pretty much came out perfect, except it's not a full ounce for whatever reason. So, but it is basically getting close to how I want my pieces to look. And we're gonna take a look at some of the perfect ones here in just a minute. But these are all the old ones that you might have seen if you've tuned into my channel before. You'll see I'm going through them pretty rapidly, but this was the earlier Pegasus version before I turned it into the rounds. And we'll just go through these pretty quickly. But yeah, because they all have issues here, they're all gonna get melted. And they're all actually underweight. They're not 1 ounce, so can't keep them. I'm a perfectionist. They've got to be perfect. This one is 2 ounces, but it's got that void there, so that's not cool. You gotta get rid of that. Going through these pretty fast. This one is 2 ounces. It's got that hammered edge, which is really sweet, and you can't really see any defects. This one actually came out pretty good. The only thing is, it's not marked, but it is one that I considered keeping or even considered selling. This is probably one that if you made me a serious offer, I might accept it. So we'll set that aside. If you're interested in purchasing maybe one of my very first pieces of silver, this is another one that is exactly 2 ounces on the dot with nothing extra, and it came out good. It came out okay. It has a little bit of a grainy finish. There's some minor imperfections, tiny little void or which I feel like adds character to this piece, and that this is another one that I'll probably hold on to for a little while longer, that is also potentially available to be sold. Here's another one that is 2 ounces and doesn't have the hammered finish, isn't marked, but I could consider selling that one. So yeah, part of this is just to, show, like, I don't know, only a few pieces that I would consider selling. This one is 2 ounces, but it has a lot of problems, voids and such, that I suppose if I hammered it, it would look okay. But I think this one, due to quality issues, is probably going to get melted. And we have another dragon that is 2 ounces, but does have some issues. Probably going to get remelted. Not probably, definitely. These beautiful. This was my first attempt at making a 50 millimeter diameter round of this same dragon design. I thought it would look better if it were bigger, and it definitely does, but it's not 2 ounces. This is supposed to say 2. It looks like a 1, but it's definitely a 2. But it's not a full 2 ounces. It's like 1.63. So I was way off on that, and I made 2 of them. And yeah, these are definitely going to get melted down. But they are pretty. Oh, they are pretty. Pretty little stackers. Moving on, we have another one in square format. Not 2 ounces, not marked. Gonna melt that. And another sea turtle, also didn't quite make the 2 ounce mark. This one is under 2 ounces. Although, I think it's nice enough that I would consider selling it. It's just, I don't want to mark a piece at 1.89. Personally, I'd rather remelt it. And an earlier design that didn't quite pan out, this floral pattern, also underweight, but it's got that nice hammered finish. I tried to save them by giving them a cool hammered finish. Put a lot of work into it. But ultimately, it's just experience. It's going to help me get better with my castings. Now, nothing particularly wrong with these shark teeth. There are a few little errors, like right there that got nicked, and right there on the edge that didn't come out quite right. But the issue with the shark teeth is that, they're hard to mark. I have to etch into this textured surface, which is difficult, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to melt it. And then these ones, I might keep one of them, but they both have a little bit of an issue on that pointed edge. I think one is better than the other one. Like this one might be better than, but again, I still have to mark the weight, mark the fact that it's silver. And I have one more that I put on a necklace that isn't marked. I should mark that one too. But at least, it's got a pendant and I can wear it. So that works for me. That one might get melted too, and I'll just do it over again. But instead of marking it on afterwards, maybe I'll just etch it into the wax, so I don't have to mark it. It'll be much easier. And, that's how I'll redo them. So from all of these pieces that we've quickly taken a look at, of all my experimentation, there are basically three pieces that I like probably the most, that I would consider saving or selling. If anybody's interested in these 2-ounce pieces, all I would have to do is either mark, and I don't even know if I want to save this one because of that void there. So let's count this one probably out. So there's just 2. There's literally just 2 with hammered finishes. I would need to stamp them, but 2 pieces potentially available if anybody wants to make an offer on one of these. Otherwise I'll probably just hang on to them because I think they're cool. Maybe just these 2. The rest are gonna go, because let me show you how I'm gonna be doing it in the future. So we've already seen the Pegasus round. Here is one that came out perfect. So this is 1 ounce, and it's actually 1 ounce. And if you compare it to the old one, it's thicker, and that's why it's 1 ounce. You can barely tell, but it is thicker by just a tiny bit, and that was the amount that was required to get the full 1 ounce. So this is basically going forward with this one. So we're keeping this one, and I went ahead and I antiqued a couple of them that are full ounces that made it, that basically they're perfect. And I got my method down, and I decided to keep them. And then these are the antiqued versions. This is what they look like when they're antiqued, and I think they look just amazing when you compare them to the high shine of the regular business strike, if you will. But the antiqued on this tiger just looks so amazing, because it's like a line sketch. It fills in those shadows, it fills in those spots perfectly. You can really tell what's going on there. And same thing with the Pegasus. The best part, in my opinion, is probably the reverse, because you get to see the Pegasus in a dark version. It really pops out so well when it's antiqued like that. So I'm loving the antiqued finish. So these 3 are exactly 1 ounce with a tiny bit extra. This is the type of stuff I'm going to be producing. There's going to be a lot more cool 1 ounce format pieces that we're gonna take a look at, and I will keep, because I've kind of cleared those issues, the issues of getting voids, the issues of you know, having there were a number of different types of problems that I had to work out the details before I finally kind of nailed in the process to the point that I have today. It would take a long time to go through everything that I learned, but this is it. This is where I'm going. I like the way they sound. I like the way they feel. I'm really proud of these pieces. They're not for sale, at least not yet, but they certainly will be eventually, because I'm going to be producing significantly more of them. All of this beautiful silver is going right back into itself, but in better form, knowing everything that I know already. And I'm only keeping, like I said, just a couple pieces from this early series of learn as you go silver pouring. So that is the video for today on what I've done, what I will do. Let's quickly take a look at some of my 3D printed boxes. This is the 10-ounce stacker bar, or 10-ounce bar box. I also have the Silver Eagle Mini Monster box that holds 100 in tubes, 100 Silver Eagles in tubes, in the original mint tubes. I also have that available in green. Here is just a 1-ounce bar 10-pack stacker box. So if you like silver bars and 1-ounce capsules, and you don't really have a good way to store them, this is one solution for you. I also have a 50-pack available. Links are down in the description, available on eBay, which is probably where I'm going to be starting to sell some of my silver once I have produced quite a bit of it. But I think we should talk about this pump that's going on in silver right now, because it's pretty amazing actually to see silver, shoot up in the last month and a half, 2 months, to $25 from its recent low of $20. So $5 in less than 2 months is really incredible for silver, although not terribly surprising given everything that's going on in the world. And, well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I am not going to try to predict the future, but I have slowed down on purchasing because I typically don't buy when the silver price or gold price is pumping. I tend to wait for the dips, and then I'll just buy more. So whereas I would prefer to be buying every month at a set amount, I tend to just make a preference to buy the dips and buy more on those dips to make up for those months that I didn't buy when silver or gold was higher. So what are your thoughts on the new price of silver and gold? Are you buying? Are you waiting? Will you be selling? I am also selling some silver premium collector coins. There's a few of them available on my eBay store. If you're interested, we'll go through some of them in another video. And that is going to do it for us today, y'all. I tried to make a shorter video, and it seems to be absolutely impossible. I just keep on rambling on. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And again, if you're interested in my silver pours, just be patient. Or you can potentially negotiate a purchase if you hit me up down in the comments or in the DMs on Instagram. They're not going up on eBay anytime soon, but you could probably be the proud owner of at least 1 or 2 pieces that may get sold instead of hanging onto them at this time. Let's see where we go. I can't wait to show you my next round of silver pours. They're going to be absolutely amazing. All right, that's going to do it. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.